Okay, this tutorial is a quick introduction to Blender 2.5. When you first start up Blender, you'll see this splash screen, but just simply click on it to get started. Now, Blender is quite daunting for the novice user because there's lots of panels and buttons everywhere, but hopefully this set of tutorials will help you get started with Blender and make it a simpler process. Okay, so first of all we see this default 3D scene here, and it consists of the default cube object, which can be used to start off a 3D model. It also contains a lamp or a light object which casts light on the scene, and it also contains this camera object which allows you to view the scene. Okay, so I'm going to select the cube by right clicking on it, and you'll see that there are three coloured arrows on the cube which allow you to drag the cube around in a 3D space. Okay, so each of these arrows allows you to move the cube around on each of the three axes, X, Y and Z. Now if you're not sure which one is which, there's a little widget down in the bottom left hand corner of the 3D view which will remind you of the three axes, X, Y and Z. Now any object can be moved around like this. I can select the lamp, and I can move it around in 3D space as well, and I can also do the same with the camera. Next though, I'm going to show you how to change the size of this cube. If I select it by right clicking and then press S on my keyboard, it allows me to scale the cube, so that's S for scale. If I then drag the mouse closer to the object, it will make the object smaller, and if I drag it away, it will make the object bigger. And then I simply just left click to set the object size. Now you can also scale the object on the different axes. So if I wanted to make this kind of flatter, I can press S and then Z to scale on the Z axis. And you'll see as I drag the object closer to the center of the object, it makes it a lot flatter. Okay, I'm also going to scale this on the X and Y axes, so I'm pressing S for scale and then X, and I'm going to drag this out to make it bigger, and I'm going to do the same on the Y axis, so I'll press S and then Y, drag out, and when I'm happy I'll click to set the scale of the object. I'm just going to move this back in towards the center here. Next I'm going to show you how to change the viewpoint of the 3D scene. Okay, it's useful to be able to see the object from different viewpoints. We can do that simply by choosing the view menu here, and I can move the camera or my viewpoint to any of these positions. So here's the left, I can change to the top, and also change to the front view. Okay, I can also change to my camera view, so that's the view through this camera here. So I'll select view and then camera, and we get a view which actually looks through that 3D camera. Now we can also change the views by using the numbers on the number pad on your keyboard. So that's a much quicker way of doing it rather than going into this menu here. So press 0 to change to the camera view, 7 for a top view, 1 for a front view, and 3 for a right hand view. Okay, quite simple. I can also hold my middle mouse button down and drag the 3D scene around so that I can see from any viewpoint, and if I want I can also zoom into the scene by using the scroll button on my mouse, so I can zoom in and out and change the viewpoint. Okay, so what I'm going to do here just now is change my viewpoint so that I can see almost all of this flattened cube through the camera. So I'll quickly change to the top view, zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to move the camera back and then change to the camera view so I can see most of this flattened cube through the camera. Okay, so that's a quick introduction to viewpoints and scaling and moving objects in Blender.